When I first arrived in Black Hollow, I thought it was the kind of sleepy, uneventful town I needed to escape my past. A break from the bustling chaos of the city, a chance for solitude. The gas station, perched alone on the edge of the woods, was meant to be my sanctuary. But nothing could have prepared me for what was to come. The night of my first shift, old Tim, the owner, gave me a list of 5 rules with an unsettling calmness. He was a man of few words, and before leaving, he looked me squarely in the eye. I don't give these rules lightly. They're your lifeline. As the fluorescent lights flickered and settled into an ominous glow, I turned my gaze to the first rule. If a man in a black suit asks for directions, do not answer. Do not look at his face. Turn off the lights and hide. My stomach churned with skepticism. The hours crawled by with an eerie silence, only interrupted by the rare car engine or rustle of leaves. At 2:14 a.m., I already had goosebumps just from reading the second rule. Between 2:15 a.m. and 2:23 a.m., a payphone will ring. Do not answer it, no matter what you hear, no matter who it sounds like. Just as I glanced up from the note, the old-fashioned payphone screamed to life, harsh and demanding. I froze, my mind racing back to my final conversation with my mother. Her voice, soft and warm, began to spill through the phone's bell-like clangs. I clamped my ears and shuddered until the ringing ceased. Then came the man, the third rule. He stood across the road, obscured by threads of darkness, watching, unyielding. His face was nothing more than a vortex of shadows. I didn't need the list to remind me to extinguish the lights and hide. My heart pounded in my throat as I squeezed behind a shelf and prayed he wouldn't approach. Not long after, the woman, her sobs desperate, came at 3 a.m. as foretold in Rule 4. Her cries seemed genuine, her pleas chilling. Please, let me in, they're coming. Her voice carried an ethereal echo that set my skin on edge. I peeked from my shadowed refuge and saw her face distorting. The final rule seemed a world away, my watch dragging as I counted the seconds to 3:33 a.m. Under no circumstances should you step outside between 3:33 a.m. and 3:41 a.m. If you hear footsteps on the roof, pray they don't come inside, it read. Minutes were infinite as phantom feet crunched above, roaming overhead. All I could do was stay silent, invisible, and compliant with the haunting instructions left by Tim, lifelines between me and the night's abyss. The chilling air in the room seemed to vibrate as the last second ticked by, and I dared to breathe. I survived my first night, but questions filled my mind. What was this town really hiding? Who or what enforced these rules? Black Hollow was no mere settlement nested in the woods. The danger wasn't imaginary. It was real, and it was coming. Those rules were there for a purpose, and I had crossed a threshold I couldn't step back over.